Hopefully it's not bad manners for me to be eating. Here, let me put the food down. I want to talk about Carlos Prates versus Ian Garry. This fight, it's a banger on paper, but no finish. I think it's going to suck, to be honest. I think it's going to be an Ian Garry smudge fest. He will win a decision. He will beat Carlos Prates the same way that he beat Michael Venom Page. Michael Venom Page is probably a more dynamic and dangerous striker by and large than Carlos Prates. Whenever we're factoring, but it's weird, I can't say that. Okay, so like stopping power, Carlos Prates has that, but like outclassing you in a fight where, you know, you're never in it, MVP can do that too better than Carlos Prates can. It's just because of the pacing of MVP versus Carlos Prates. Carlos Prates, he hits you at a slower rhythm, but whenever his punches do add up, they're more likely to result in a KO than MVP's. Even though MVP does have finishing power, but it just comes more in the form of like explosive kicks and flying knees. Carlos Prates only needs these. So, I don't know. It's weird. Ian Garry, though, he has the fight with Shavkat, which is like probably the most important thing here. A reality is that with as competitive as welterweight is, most of that division does not get up after Ian Garry takes it back and tries to sink in that RNC that he had Hamzat in. Or Shavkat. My bad, I'm sorry. It's so hard. It's so hard with all these names, man. It's just they're all in my head. It's like soup. But anyways, Ian Garry has good grappling acumen. His striking is decent. It could be better. It seemed like he was a striker whenever he first popped up and he was like knocking out Daniel Rodriguez and stuff and calling the strikes which he was going to do it with. I don't really understand what's going on now. He just seems to be more of a grappler. He's training with Shooter Box and Charles Oliveira, so I know that they have him through like some rigorous kickboxing training, but let's see what it amounts to in this fight against Carlos Prates. I don't think anyone's going to call you stupid for picking Carlos Prates, even though, like, just from the surface level, it seems like a more casual pick, in my opinion, just because, I mean, strength of scheduling, the hardest fight that Carlos Prates has really had up until now is going to be Neil Magny. And, I mean, he did dispatch that guy. We were about to watch him fight Jeff Neal in a main event, which was going to be really cool. That would have been for sure, like, a striking match, you know, and nobody would have shot for a takedown in that one. But in this, I think that Ian Garry is going to come out to wrestle. I think that he'll feel the power of Carlos Prates and he'll test it, but as soon as he like reaches any type of adversity on the feet, he's going to be in on those hips, and he's probably going to get the takedown, to be honest, because Carlos Prates has never been like shown to be wrestled, and that's not because it's impossible for him to be wrestled. He just usually knocks you out before you're able to shoot. So Ian Garry is a tactician for all like the garbage that we all talk on him. He's a pretty smart fighter. He's good at game planning. I think he will come out with a game plan and he will follow it and execute it well. But the game plan will be to wrestle for the majority of the fight. And that's going to suck for our viewership because we want to watch a finish. So if Carlos Prates cannot set up and deliver a beautiful knockout, which I will not rule out of the possibility of this happening, even though I'm going to pick Ian Garry by submission in round 2. I don't know. It's just weird. I just think that cigarette cardio is another factor here. Honestly, like, we've never seen this guy fight for really more than like a round and a half, to be honest. Like 8 minutes, 12 minutes max, you know, maybe like 3 rounds. Like, we've gotten out of this guy. If that, he's going to go into a 4 or 5 rounder with a guy who's conditioned for 25 minutes whenever he steps in the octagon, whether or not it's 15 minutes or an actual main event. So, it's going to be interesting, honestly. It's going to be really interesting. Ian Garry is going to definitely have the cardio advantage. He's going to have more wind in him whenever the fight goes deeper. Whenever they start wrestling as well, we'll really see how his lungs are holding up, Carlos Prates, because grappling is tiring. Grappling and striking are both very tiring compared to just like traditional cardio, but grappling is a different beast, dude. And if like, I don't know. He said like 1 or 2 packs a day whenever he's partying, or if he's like worried about something, 1 to 2 packs a day. That's crazy. And he's about to go and fight for 25 minutes against Ian Garry. I mean, you're a professional, bro. Like, you're the fighting nerds, like, wizard, knockout king, bro, whatever. But, like, I don't know. That sounds crazy to me. But that's definitely something that I'm going to be weighing here. It's going to literally be TOFU versus TOBACCO. Now, I might honestly title the video this. It's ridiculous, dude. It's really ridiculous that they pitted it against each other in this one. But this is a very, like, important matchup to happen. It needs to happen because we need to know, out of all the people in welterweight, who is the best out of all of these guys, dude. It needs to be revealed to all of us and made completely clear who is the best of all the contenders that we have, because right now it's kind of just like anyone's guess. It could be Buckley. It could be Garry. Honestly, even though he lost to Shavkat returns, it could be Shavkat. It could be JDM. You know, it could be one of these unranked guys, Hoofy, coming up, dude. It could be him. It could be oh, he's at 155. Excuse me. Bro, it could be any of these dudes, though. Brian Battle, take your pick, man. Literally, there's so many like contenders at welterweight, man, and they're all so good, and like they all belong at the top of the division. And the guys who are like from the old era, they're getting shuffled out. So we need to know from like the new era who is the best amongst these guys. So this is a very necessary matchup. I just think that people are expecting a little bit too much from it, just because we've been getting starved so bad for good events. I don't think that this one is going to deliver. This might be like a classic UFC banger, bro, where we get a knockout or some type of crazy finish in a sequence that we never saw coming before it actually happens. That's the best that we could hope for, honestly. But on the surface level, Ian Garry is going to be the right pick. I think that picking him by either an early or late submission is going to be a good idea if you are like one of those guys who likes to, you know. But not me. I just like to talk about fights. So this is what I think about this fight. Ian Garry, bro, I'm about to hit the hardest flip-flop of the 21st century, bro. Ian Garry is my boy now, low-key. I feel like he was a dog the way that he took the Shavkat fight. This guy is game, and like honestly, I respect the fact that he's stepping up and taking these hard matchups. Because you know, if it was Buckley too, if he's taking a fight with Carlos Prates, this guy calls himself the Nightmare, bro. So he'll take a fight with anyone, bro, and I honestly respect it a lot. So hope he wins this time around. I feel like the Shavkat fight under-delivered, so I really hope that he doesn't have back-to-back really bad performances, even if he wins, to be honest. So we'll see how this ends up going. I want it to be a violent one, bro. So I know Carlos Prates is going to bring those vibes. Maybe Ian Garry's not going to be with it, but if he is, then it should be a good show for all of us. So Ian Garry by sub, bro. That's the official pick. I'm going to talk about Merab Dvalishvili versus Sean O'Malley 2 in the next video, so please stay tuned for that. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you made it to this point in the video. I will catch you fellas in the next one. Peace out.